I think I start my presentation focusing on balancing growth, discipline, and resilience. I would like to reiterate our second finance minister. We, Malaysia, has always been a prolific reformer. We have done it in 1980s, and we will do it again towards 2030. Next, please. Okay, I've gone through this yesterday. Again, the challenge that we face at the moment is on our external demand and on our financial market volatility. Next. And we are still confident that our growth forecast for 2026 is around 4% to 4.5%. Next slide, please. Okay, and we are currently focusing on our internal demand, and these are the numbers of the current statistic. We are looking at a decade low unemployment rate, where the average is 3.2, and we are currently, as in August, stood at 3%. And our labour forces is also above our average since 2011, which is stood at 70.9%. And with the current reform in terms of our minimum wage, we now stood at the average of 7.3% growth. Next, please. And I know that we are being faced by the trade issues lately, but for Malaysia, we choose to react differently. If you follow our news, we did not impute any major stimulus package due to the trade. But we did take a huge stimulus, we did give a huge stimulus package during pandemic, as what other countries did. Because we foresee that the trade effect is actually lower, but our economy is a bit challenging at the moment due to the fact that because of the commodity price, which is oil price, that is our major concern. I think mostly because if you look at our export market, our export market, there is no, US only covers 13.2, the rest is on Asia. But at the same time, we also do understand that our market within our Asian continent is also very much reliant on the US and the rest of Asia's agreement, what we get from there. But we are also, after the third quarter, we see that the E&E is still strong, and our tourism bounced back in 2025, and we are looking more growth in 2026. And partially, I guess, ASEAN being held in Malaysia helps. And of course, we are also betting on our neutral policy stand in terms of tariff, in terms of trade, whereby we are looking at new market. And the recent agreement that we signed with US is somewhat given stability on our engagement with US in terms of our import and export. Okay, next, please. And basically, as what has been presented, our economy is driven by investment. If you look from 2024 to 2025, our investments stood at 575 billion. And again, if you look at the pre-pandemic, which is 2019, the total import has grown to, The share of high-value investment on ICT and E&E has grown to 46%. And we are also quite confident with the numbers of 41% until the first half. We can continue the growth momentum up to the end of the year. Having said that, as you can see, we are looking at more moderate growth in terms of our gross fixed capital formation in 2026. Next, please. Okay. To be fair, Malaysia has been, I think any economy, we have been managing our fiscal policy according to the economic condition at the point of time. Of course, we have planned. If you look at Malaysia growth trajectory or deficit numbers, we have making a quite a better position in terms of fiscal deficit from 2011 up to 2018. Then we are hit with COVID-19. But after the COVID, together with after the pandemic, together with the Madani economic framework, we are focusing our investment through our Gear Up initiative. The Gear Up initiative is somewhat the initiative that is quite similar to what Korean have. But previously, we also done similar thing, but it is, I think, we are more focused this time around, where we are targeting our investment in these 4 areas, which is advanced economics complexity areas, the growth of private market, upskill and reskill, affordable healthcare, and to promote energy transition. The amount of the 120 billion is for the 5 years, and we have specific targets, specific KPIs for this GLIC. GLIC is government-linked companies. These are using their own asset under management, because if you are familiar, our EPF is our employee provident fund, and Co-op is basically our retirement fund, the government public retirement fund. And they are investing in this area to both generate more investment and also to generate more income from their investment. And up to August, these are the numbers. 25 billion has been deployed to the market, and we have looked at 8,000 number of youth trained. So we are not only focused, what we are trying to create is we provide investment through selected high impact growth areas, and towards that we also aim to ensure that no Malaysian is left behind. That is the target. So next, okay. Basically, we have gone through this yesterday, and since 2021, we have stayed true to our pledge on fiscal consolidation, and this is part of our MTFF. We have adopted. We have started publishing our MTFF since 2018, officially in our fiscal outlook, yearly fiscal outlook. But we have been going through the process of refining the MTFF since 2015, together with IMF at that point of time. Oh, sorry, I think IMF. And of course, in our fiscal target, we also set there are 4 areas, there are 4 targets in our fiscal rule. First is the deficit target, less than 3%. And we also set the development infrastructure target, development target. And we also set the government guarantee target of less than 25% of GDP. And we also set debt to GDP a target of 60% within medium term. Okay, next. And next, please. And I would like to share what, in terms how we operationalize our revenue mechanism and our expenditure optimization. As you can see, we start the, I go through the revenue. In 2023, we start the reform through the review of income tax rates. And for those, just a bit background. We initially rolled out our good and service tax in 2015. And we paused the implementation in 2018 until we agree to a new methods in terms of goods and service tax. And to be honest, we are at one point we are thinking of implementing VAT, but at this juncture we revise our we look at I think on our main revenue mobilization improvement that we did in 2024 is increase the service tax rate from 6% to 8%. And another looking forward reform in terms of revenue is the implementation of e-invoicing for taxpayer with annual revenue more than 100 million. And for 2025, we expand our sales and service tax because if you look in July, we have reviewed the rates of sales tax and expansion of sales and service tax scope. That alone is expected to bring us an extra of 5 billion income. And it is supported through this specific expenditure enhancement mechanism. As you know that in Malaysia, the electricity rate is being adjusted every 6 months. And with that, and we have been reducing our subsidies of electricity tariff since 2023 and 2024. And there are several other subsidies program that we have either discontinued or reduced because as what I shared with you guys yesterday, we are more focused on giving assistance to those who are very much needed. And the method is using the mean tested method, which is based on statistical data rather than giving a blanket approval. But for Malaysia, I believe this step is a major step for us. And we are, to be honest, on the increase of electricity tariff and the increase of water tariff, we are being supported by the state government as well, which is if Malaysia, on each state, we have different political party who rule. And for us to come together to the table and agree on policy to increase the unpopular policy of increasing water tariff is something big to us because there are certain states that has never been increased the water tariff for more than 50 years. And those are the one that is really, and for us is a very important milestone. And also, we implement the diesel subsidy in 2024 with saving around 7B. And in September, this September, we start rolling our RON 95 subsidy with 4 billion expected saving max. But of course, we still receive comments, political debate, parliamentary debate. But at this juncture, we are quite confident we can, the idea is really to educate well and communicate well to the rest of the people. Next. And I think you can go through this in my presentation. Next, please. Again, these are the main budget 2026 initiative, and what we are targeting, and what do we want to focus on. Next. Okay, if you look at these numbers, the top one is what is our how we have grown. Those are the numbers that how we have grown, and the one in the middle is where we are now, where Malaysia are now. If you look, our rating is we have improved our rating after the pandemic, and 25% of our labour market is with the tertiary education. And we have asset under management in our government-linked companies stood at 2 trillion. And we are improving our competitive ranking index in 2025. And in the future, the last line is what we aim for our future up to 2030. Next, please. And I think I end with that. I conclude.